Good evening. I'm Dana Tyler. The moped ride-sharing company Revel is shut down right now in New York City. The decision following 2 deadly crashes this month. CBS 2's Lisa Rosner has been demanding answers over safety concerns and joins us live now on Manhattan's West Side. Lisa.
Well, Dana, there are still Revels parked on the road like this one here on 66th Street near Amsterdam. And riders who try to open the app and take one out, well, they are told immediately that the service is shut down. Earlier this year, Revel expanded to Manhattan and the Bronx as a greener and more affordable way to travel. But we found no one from the city was regulating how they were doing that. For the last few months, we've seen many Revel riders disregarding the law, riding on sidewalks, not wearing helmets, driving in parks and highways where they are not allowed, and running red lights.
Then you have to go in the corner because you are afraid. The people doesn't respect nobody here.
In Cypress Hills, Brooklyn today, another family mourning. Police say 32-year-old Jeremy Malave died. Police say he failed to properly navigate his Revel moped while traveling north on Woodhaven Boulevard in Queens, approaching 67th Drive, when he struck a center light pole within a center median.
He was a nice guy.
This comes a little more than a week after our beloved colleague Nina Kapoor was killed as a passenger on a Revel moped in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And it follows a string of accidents, some of which have left at least 2 men in critical condition at a hospital. Doctors at St. Barnabas Hospital in the Bronx say they were seeing it every day.
We're also seeing a lot more serious injuries, including bone fractures or broken bones, also head injuries that include concussions.
Revel is facing more than a dozen lawsuits in New York for injuries. Daniel Flanzig represents several plaintiffs, including 2 that say they were struck by Revel riders.
He was walking in the closed street corridor, was struck by a Revel user riding through that closed street. One was a gentleman exiting out of his vehicle, was struck by a rider. Amazingly, a lot of these riders also tend to flee, which tends to lead me to believe that maybe they were not the person who actually rented it. It was done on behalf of somebody else.
The company had been letting users take out mopeds with just a driver's license and an optional learning course. We've spent the last week asking the city why it wasn't regulating the company, and officials kept blaming the state. Today, Mayor Bill de Blasio admitted
folks are using something that in many ways is like a motorcycle without having to have a license like you need to with a motorcycle, and therefore, you know, a certain amount of training and all. It stands to reason that it's going to put people in harm's way.
City Council Speaker Corey Johnson acknowledged the company cannot self-police itself if it opens again.
DOT needs to take a more hands-on and affirmative role in working with Revel and coming up with a plan on how we will oversee them.
And we had reported yesterday that Congressman Adriano Espaillat had sent a letter to the city and state demanding they pause Revel's operations. Revel says it is working on creating better safety measures and communicating with the city. It says this shutdown is voluntary and it does not affect other cities where it is continuing to operate. We're live on the West Side. Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
All right, Lisa, thank you.